So first, let's talk about dividing assets. And dividing assets varies greatly depending on which state you're in. So you could be in an equitable distribution state, or you could be in a community property state. There's more equitable than there is community property, but community property is pretty straightforward. The state looks at any assets or any debts that you've accumulated during your marriage as jointly owned assets that get split 50-50. It's pretty mathematical, there's not a lot of variation. However, most states fall under the equitable category, and there is a lot of variation in equitable. Depends on the judge that you have, depends on a lot of other circumstances. So making sure that you have a good attorney to walk you through this process will be really key, especially during an equitable distribution state like most are. There's certain things called marital assets versus separate assets too. Marital assets, again, this depends on states, but marital assets are things that you developed or accrued together, whereas separate assets are going to be assets that maybe you brought into the marriage, or maybe that you're going to inherit or did inherit during your marriage separately. Those things are treated separately too, so making sure that you have a clear listing of what those are, correctly categorized, will be really important. Separating debts is also a tricky issue when you're going through divorce. Making sure that you have a full listing of your debt and going and pulling things like your credit report so that maybe there's some debt out there that you forget about, making sure that you have a full listing so you understand who's getting the assets and then who's being responsible for the debt attributable to those is a really important thing.